In this Formester review, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about this software. If you have any questions, please be sure to comment them down below, and I'll also be sure to leave a discounted link down there so you can always get your money's worth for Formester. Formester is a software that builds forms in minutes with ease, and it's really straightforward using a drag and drop builder. So this is what you should see once you first entered the software as a beginner, or if you've signed up for the first time, and also if you're logging in for the first time as well. So there's not much going on here. I think this is a really simple and straightforward software, which I personally really like. Kind of minimalistic, so it's not really confusing for any beginners or even professionals. So we're going to go ahead and jump straight into it and see what this Formester software has to offer. So again, as I said, it looks really minimalistic. So as you can see here, there's only kind of one section or one create form section, and that's pretty much what you have to go ahead and start out with. So to create your first form, you go ahead and click create form right here, and once you've clicked that, it should then take you to this page where it says create a new form. Now this section is pretty much just a section to go ahead and type in all the details for your form, like the form name, redirect URL, email notification, type of service, and then the type of form. So the form name is whatever you want to name your form. I'd go ahead and name it something that obviously correlates what you're doing it for if I was you. I just went ahead and named it reviews for now because this is a review and we're doing the form for a review. Next, we've got the redirect URL. Now this is a really cool feature that I personally really like because you can actually choose to redirect users to a certain URL once they've created the form. Maybe your website or something has that sort of feature and you want to go ahead and maximize the use of that for your website. So again, just import your URL here if you want to go ahead and redirect anyone, or if you don't, just leave it blank. We're going to go ahead and leave it blank for now because we don't have anywhere to redirect anyone. Below that is another cool feature like the redirect URL. You actually have an email notification. So you can actually notify these email addresses when the submission is received. So if you want to go ahead and receive submission results from when someone actually completes your form, you'd go ahead and put your own email in there, so you go ahead and get obviously submission received emails. So again, you'd put your email in there. We're going to go ahead and leave it blank for now, and then we move on to the type of service. Now this is where you can go ahead and choose the type of service that your form is, whether it's drag and drop or even back end only. It says continue with drag and drop if you're not sure what to choose. For now, we're going to go ahead and stick with drag and drop. Below that, we've got the type of form. You can always update it in the advanced settings, which again is a cool feature, so your form can always be updated and it's not just kind of like a one-time thing. So you can go ahead and choose if your form's a single page or even a multi-page form, depending on the type of style you want to go ahead and go with. Again, we're going to go ahead and leave it on single page so we can get kind of like a list view of our form, rather than a multiple page thing for like websites. So once you are happy with your settings of all of this form, you go ahead and click submit. And there you go, it takes you to this big builder section, this huge powerful builder section where all of the magic of the Formester software really happens. So up here we've got a huge line of navigation bar for things we can actually include, like submissions, analytics, the actual builder itself, embed, whether we want to go ahead and embed it in a website, settings, autoresponder, integrations, export if we need to, collaborators, and then the SMTP configurations. So we're going to jump into straight on this builder section where we can actually start putting together a form, and then we'll go through all of the analytics and the settings further on. So to go through the form section, we've got a huge variety of different choices to start building our form. On the left hand side, we've got different types of basic to personal type of settings, like text and stuff like that you'd normally add onto a form, and then the personal is more like name, emails. Maybe you want to go ahead and take down some name and emails if maybe you're selling a product. Below that, we've got date and times, surveys, and then others like welcomes and signatures. And then you can also have choice questions if it's maybe a question form. So depending on what type of form you're making would obviously revolve around this. We're going to go ahead and just make a simple form for the sake of this review and go and import some text for now. So we want to go ahead and click a form header. So all you have to do is again drag and drop it like the Formester prides itself upon. That's what the software actually does. It's a really simple drag and drop software form maker. Personally, I really love that feature on how simple it is because again, for beginners, you don't have to spend loads of time trying to make a good design. The software does it for you all automatically. So again, once you drag and drop your form header, really simple and easy, you can also double click it and it should open up this on the left hand side for you to start editing that section. So we've got the text that we can change, which we're going to just highlight and get rid of. We're going to go ahead and change it to reviews form. Below that then we've got the heading font size, kind of just like a text software where you can change the heading and bold and italic. You can go ahead and make whatever changes you need to make. Then below that we've got the subheading text, pretty much the same thing. We're going to go ahead and just change that. Enter this form, and then you can change the text on those as well. So really simple and easy, straightforward. Don't have to be a huge designer or form maker to use this. It's really minimalistic, again, which I really love. I think it's actually really incredible how easy this software is. Again, there's not really much to it, but it does look like a pretty great form already for your form. So once you've done with that and you're happy with what you've actually entered, you can choose to delete it if you need to, or even duplicate it if you want to as well. So we've now got our reviews form header for our form. Now let's say we kind of want to add a choice question. We're going to go ahead and select and drag and drop single choice, and you can either drag and drop it at the top or in the middle. Again, really easy and simplistic. You can go ahead and choose and drag and drop things where you need it. If you need to change anything, you can actually just drag and drop it about as well, just like that. As you can see, I can just move it around really easily without any complications. Once I've double clicked that again, we can change all of the different choices for the choice question. So we've got the question text. Let's go ahead and make a question. So I went ahead and put in what is the best color, and now we're going to go ahead and give it 3 different options for 3 different colors. So if you want to go ahead and add a description, you can do that there as well. And then this is where you enter the options, as you can see right here. So we're going to go ahead and put black and then click enter, and we now have the option. And we're going to go ahead and just remove these ones that were already made by the software by just clicking X. Really easy and straightforward. We'll also go with red and then blue. So there you go, that is pretty much it for even just to create a simple choice question form. Really easy and straightforward. You don't need to be an amazing form builder for this. Again, I think it's absolutely incredible how simple this is. It's good for beginners, professionals, everyone in between, and it's really easy to use. So another thing you can actually do, you can actually code sort of kind of rules for this form to actually use. So if someone selects a certain something, you can actually go ahead and make something happen as well. So it says if and then, and we can go ahead and select if whatever the best color is filled. Let's say someone selects it, then we can skip the field onto the next button. You pretty much get the idea. It's kind of like if someone selects a certain choice, you can make it go to a different form or a different choice within the form. Really cool little feature that I think is not necessary, but it's good that it's been added by the software. And if you're happy with that, you can go ahead and click done, and then your rule is added. We're going to go ahead and just delete that for now because we don't need it, but it's simple and easy. I was just showing you that it was there. And next, you can actually add a little quiz score. If it's maybe a quiz and not a form, you can actually make the software have a score for your form. If they choose certain options, you can give them 1 point, 2 points, etc. And I think that's another really great feature that isn't necessary, but it's cool that it's been added, and it makes it more of a software for other things rather than just basic forms. So now we've finished with our form. On the right hand side again, we can change any fonts or sizes of these fonts if you need to, and then in the advanced section you can add some logos if you want to, or even single questions per page. So we've got our simple form here, and we can save it, preview it and publish it if we need to by these buttons up here. If we click preview, we now have our form here with different kind of previews on different kind of devices. Next, moving on to the analytics section, this is where all the data, statistics, analytics, whatever you want to call it, would then generate through the Formester software. So you've got your views here, submissions rate, and then the average submission time. You've got a little graph here of this type of, or different type of time schedules, like this week, this month, this year, and all time. If you want to go ahead and see or get a more of a bigger insight on who's actually answering your form questions, or something like that. So there's not much data going on at the moment, so I'm going to go back to the builder and we're going to click publish, and I'm actually going to start filling out some of the questions so we can get a bit of data on the analytics. And there you go. Now you can see I just went ahead and filled out some of the form or some of the questions or some of the choices of answers, and now we've got our data easily running through. It's literally instantly that the software actually goes ahead and processes this data, which again I think is an incredible feature. You don't have to be waiting around ages for the data to be processed. It's instant, as you can see right here. You can see the number of views. I went on it 3 times, selected 2 for black and 1 for blue. And now we can see the different types of dates or different type of data that is coming through this software. So you can go ahead and see different types of data within this month. As you can see, it goes up there. And again, just work through this and easily see the data of the software, which I think is really great. On the submissions, you can see the different type of submissions like I just inputted. Like I said, I did 1 for blue and 2 for black. As you can see, there's 2 black there, 1 for blue. You can see when it's submitted, which is a cool feature, so you can see when people actually submit their answers, and then you can also delete answers or remove them if you need to. On the embed section is where if you have it on a website or you want to import it to a website, you can easily just do it through here. Just copy the code down here once you click that and it says copied, and then you can choose what type of embed mode you want to go ahead and embed into your website, whether it's just standard or even a pop-up. you can copy each different one. And again, on the settings is where you change the main settings of this software. And finally, this software has some integrations if you want to go ahead and integrate them to the Formester software. So if you want to go ahead and integrate different things like Google Sheets and Gmail, you can do that as well. And also export your data to a CSV if you need to. And there you go, that is it for the Formester software review. Overall, I think this is a really great software, and I think there's a couple of good features that I personally really like. Again, I love how minimalistic this software is. However, there's a huge variety of things you can actually do. It's not just a simple form builder. You can build different types of things like products, quizzes, questions, etc. There's loads for this software to do while keeping the simplistic drag and drop feature that it prides itself upon. Would I recommend this to anyone? Yes, I absolutely would. This is definitely one of the best form softwares I've came across, and I would recommend this to anyone who needs a form software. And finally, would I use it myself? Again, best software I've came across in terms of forms, and I would definitely use this again. Overall, I think this is a 10 out of 10 software, and I would again use it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.